All right. Sure, I'll sit here. How's everyone doing?
Yeah.
All right. So, Shahab, me and you have some things in common. We're both not from Miami originally, but we're attracted to coming into this market. I moved here myself just 3 weeks ago from Washington, D.C. I know you're also from the Northeast, a little bit further up north.
I'm not from the East originally, but...
Yes, and a lot further east originally. I know that you have a lot of global real estate experience. I know that you have lived and worked in Asia, in Europe, and of course in the United States. I wanted to ask you, what are your key insights about the Miami real estate market, and what is it that's attracting you to this market?
Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight and listening to us. And it's always wonderful to be in a beautiful setting like this. Very relevant question, because one of the great things about Miami, it's a young city. It's a young city, it's an old city, it's a young city that has reinvented itself continuously and continues to do so today. In the 5 years, just the 5 years that we've been down here, not only downtown Miami, which has seen a significant change, but new neighborhoods like the Design District, Wynwood, have all helped elevate Miami to a true global city. I've been fortunate to have lived and worked in different real estate markets in different cities. I spent a significant amount of time in Bangkok. I lived there for a number of years, and in Frankfurt. And I went to school in London. And in each one of these three cities, what I witnessed firsthand was a transformation of areas along the river. So when I was a student in London, the idea that the Docklands would become a center for high-rises selling £10 million apartments, you would have been laughed out of the room. When I was in Frankfurt, the Frankfurt River, I would dare my brother, we were kids who run down there, come up because it was Needle Park, named a Needle Park. And today, the museum's there and the Goethe Institute is there. And when I was living in Bangkok, there was the other side of the river that nobody would go to, and today the Peninsula Hotel is there, the new Hilton is there. So I saw this transformation, and when I came down to Miami, not to party and be hungover the next day, so I'm never going to do this again, and I'm not going to doing that. I actually came down for business the first time in 2013, 2014, and immediately, because of what was happening with Swire, you know, it's a story everybody knows very well now, and the river, to me it was a foregone conclusion that what I had witnessed firsthand, my own life and my own career, is going to be happening here. And we focused on the river, not, you know, to speak about our own projects, what we always do. That was our focus, and I think time has kind of attested to that, even though it's been a short period of time. Brickell City Center is complete. The fact that a firm like you guys is down here, you are building not only all over the States, you're building all over the world. And then here you are focusing on this market. And hopefully we'll do something together.
Yes, that's the plan.
You know, this is preliminary dating. So we can actually get something done together.
That's right.
So we're very excited to be here, and from an internationalist point of view, I will say this. Miami used to be Miami Beach. Miami is now Miami the city. It's a global city, it's international, not only in the sense that it's a wonderful Latin vibrant culture, but it's an international city. Europeans, Asians, even West Coasters coming here. And a number of factors are driving that. So we are very excited to be here, and we're very excited to be doing projects that, modestly I would like to say, bring a different level of design and sophistication to this market, as you guys are.
Thank you. So a couple of more questions for you. So the firm that I work for, Gensler, we have offices globally. We have about 50 different offices. I happen to have worked in our Shanghai office for about 5 or 6 years. I worked in DC, and now I'm in Miami. I've also seen the fact that mixed-use projects are on the rise now. I've also seen Miami kind of transition from a only condo development market into more of a mixed-use and potentially commercial office real estate market. What are your thoughts about that from kind of a financial and real estate strategy point of view?
Very relevant, because our first two projects that we've launched in Miami are condo projects. One is 2000 Ocean in Hallandale with Minotti from Italy, and the other one is Wanderer Point with Raphael Vignoli, the competition, a worthwhile competition of yours. And our next phase, which we are going to be announcing hopefully soon, is actually speculative office building. And being in New York, you are made more aware than being anywhere else in the country the significance of what has been happening in the past 2 years on a macroeconomic scale. The shift that we're seeing coming to Miami from the Northeast is not what has typically been driving these markets. It's not wonderful quality of life, an incredibly beautiful city. I mean, Miami really is one of the world's most beautiful cities. All of those are great factors, but we're seeing macroeconomic events taking shape. Unfortunately, a lot of it being driven by political realities, which I think are very unfortunate as a direction we're taking that we shouldn't take, but we're at the forefront of it in New York. And the number of our colleagues and the people that we work with who are either looking at coming down here or about to come down here or here already. And every time I'm here, I meet people who say, hey, I just moved here because of so-and-so. So the sector which was weak in Miami, and this is really transformative about Miami, and all of you guys that are in real estate should start looking at this angle. Miami has been so long driven by tourism, foreign buyers, people parking their money, and that's still a very important factor here. But Miami's developing a downtown, a business sector, and the people who are moving here are putting demands on schools. We have a partner of ours who is, they have one of the very well-known private schools in New York City. They're partnering with us to bring a school down here. It's a for-profit school, private school. You would have never heard of that 5 years ago. We have investment banks that we work with. They're all opening offices here. And we, originally, the parcel that we are going to be announcing are speculative ground-up office building. We were going to do a different type of condo product. And looking at the market and everything that's happened is being very much driven down there. Healthcare is going to follow, a different kind of F&B is going to follow. We're in negotiation with a very, very well-known restaurant group from New York who had never looked at Miami 3 years ago, and now they want to come down here. And this is, and again, you guys, I mean, look at you, you're here now, right? Yep. And not just because of this. So I think despite the fact that the Herald seems to like to beat up on their city, this is a great city with a great, great future. And if you're going to bet on anywhere, bet on Miami. It's a great place.
Thank you very much, Shahab. I think we've ran out of our 10-minute time frame.
Short and sweet.
Thank you all for
Like
listening. Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you for doing the...
Thank you guys very much. KAR Properties, Gensler Group, Miami. Thank you.
Seth Rogen!
Seth Rogen!
Seth Rogen!
There he is. Thank you guys for allowing me to be here and do this. I wanted to thank the rest of the sponsors tonight. Beauchamp Construction. Make some noise, please. Hey! Lending Bankers. American Dream Title. Alliant. United Glass. Real Estate Promos. Miami Association of Realtors, probably some really good looking people in that chapter. CESV, Recom Consulting, Hope International. I wanted to introduce also the next events happening for REDin New York, which is an event that I'm going to be doing.